Hey guys, it's Ben, the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin. Thanks for joining us today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and don't forget about the Tucson Coin Show in January. It's going to be a great one. Today we have an open box video, and we all have our bad days and our levels of embarrassment, and this is a bad, embarrassing day for me. Not because of the results. Well, I mean, not entirely because of the results, but You'll get there. You'll get there. We'll figure it all out together. So this 1909 San Francisco minted Indian head cent is one of the key dates in the Indian cent series. And you can see it's got a nice strong full liberty, and it's a little bit on the shiny side. It's cool because it has that what they call a wood grain pattern to it, or wood grain look to it, which is actually a look that I always liked. Some people choose to not collect coins that look like that. But there is a lot of detail left in this cent, and there's the San Francisco mint. Only struck for 2 years in San Francisco. XF details cleaned. Not too surprising on this coin. It's the type of coin that, it came in an album. Knew it would probably come back clean, but it's still a little bit more saleable in a holder than it would be raw. And that is something that's probably in that, well, an ICE XF is $500 to $600, so that'll probably be a little bit less. Now the next two coins I'm going to show you are not mine, so they will not be available. Any coins that are available for sale by the time the video hits will be in the show notes down below. This one I am still not sure exactly what I've got here. It's not mine, but you guys, maybe one of you all are experts on 3-cent silvers, and you can recognize this right away and talk more intelligently about it. So you'll see all those really fine lines in the background. So that is possibly what is giving it its appearance. And by its appearance, I mean you see the reflectivity. So something about the planchet or the die may give it reflectivity. It does have sharp lines to it overall, but we did submit it as a proof, and it came back mint state. Now, my customer actually bought it as a mint state coin, and it's an interesting coin because you could almost argue that it could get a PL grade. Real beautiful piece. And the technical difference in the marketplace, just based on what the sheets say, it's, probably about 2.5, 3 times as valuable as a proof. But the coin is stunning no matter what, and my customer should be pretty happy with it. MS62 plus, kind of an interesting grade. Didn't want to give it a 63. Why not? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's a nice coin. He's going to have it forever and ever and ever. Amen. All right, so another customer's coin, this 1904, the San Francisco mint. And so some of you may notice, we were just talking about having a proof-like field. So when the surfaces look like a proof coin, it is both fun and challenging to collect certain types of coins as proof-like. So for those of you who collect Morgan dollars, you're probably used to seeing coins that are proof-like or PL. And for those of you who collect just about anything else, you're probably not as used to seeing coins that have a proof-like finish to them. I've had a lot of, especially kind of this 1904, 1903, 04, or 5S that have kind of that proof-like finish, but I've never gotten one of mine to have a proof-like. Congratulations to my customer. I'd guess that probably gets close to doubling the value on this guy. I mean, it's a what I find interesting is, they called the 3-cent piece 62 plus, and this one is 63, and this one, mind you, I'm not mad at the 63, but you could definitely argue this could get just a 62 because of the heavier hits on the cheek and whatnot. But PL, congratulations. Congratulations. Now the fun really starts. So the embarrassment, we can talk about the embarrassment, the bad day, is that I've got a couple crackouts here in this video, and on those crackouts, I lost the labels after I cracked out the coins. So, maybe I was just discussed it ahead of time before I even got the results. I don't know what happened. This is not a Crackout. You'll know the Crackouts will be coming in just a minute. I had a fun little album of Standing Liberty quarters, and most of them were not really super great, but there are a few in here that were kind of worth getting graded. They have a lot of the environmental damage, if you will, of being in an old album for a long time. Standing Liberty quarters have type 1 and type 2, so 1916 didn't have any stars below, and then halfway through the 17 they did the same thing, as well as the bare breast on the type 1s. So this is a type 2 MS62 on the 17D. The Denver Mint mark is located just up and to the left of the 1 in 1917. It's to the right of that leftmost bottommost star. So pretty coin, and on this guy here, you know, probably in that $300 ballpark, give or take. So at this point, I'm just kind of happy when coins straight grade, because, you know, I get coins in that are really cool coins and old albums, and, you know, I've got a chance to try to get them certified. Maybe they'll come back okay, and maybe they won't. So the 17S Type 2 came back AU details cleaned. All around kind of an interesting grade to me, because I think I kind of prefer the 17S over the 17D. Maybe that's just kind of a visual. Now you will see some of these really fine hairlines coming this way. Those hairlines are in the field over here. But overall, I thought this coin should come back unk details, if you're going to call it cleaned. You know, I think it's a pretty nice looking coin overall. Super flat strike. The other thing to know, of course, about your Standing Liberty quarters is one of the series where people will pay premiums for stronger strikes, and they have a designation specifically for that called full head, where you can actually see the entire outline of the head of the coin. That 17S Type 2, probably a couple $100 still on that guy. Here is a 1925, and this one's kind of fun. So this is, you can see now, I'm going to focus on the head, compare the head to the last one, and you start to see a lot more detail. That last head had no hairline detail at all. You kind of get the detail there that goes along the hairline from the forehead all the way down behind the eye. That's kind of the separation you want on most of these series. There are actually several different styles to a Standing Liberty quarter. There were different, you know, besides the Type 1 and Type 2, then later on there are some other minor changes. So I'm intrigued by that coin and this coin together. This coin, the previous coin, is when I said that coin, because you'll see this coin actually has a lot of the same things. You'll see some of the fine hairlines coming through. It actually has a little bit of a planchet flaw right above the T in the word quarter. Also, this is, all these quarters were in an old album. These 4 or 5 here that I'm going to show in a row before we get to a Crackout. So yeah, there we go. Did I finish my story? I probably did. All right, MS62 full head. So this guy is about $350 or so. Really lovely original skin. I love the original tone to that piece. And I actually thought that this one and this one were kind of like kissing cousins, the way that they turned out visually. Of course, the holder results were rather different. All right. Next up, we have a really beautiful coin and a tough date, and a coin that I'm going to have to decide what to do. 1920 San Francisco Mint coin. And I'm just going to let this coin soak up the screen for a little bit. Just because it's a pretty neat coin. And once again, you see that the luster flow over the entire surface of the coin there. I'm going to get it turned around here so we can inspect this side. It's actually sometimes easier to look at a coin upside down because you start to look at the quality of the coin instead of the design of the coin, if that makes sense. You know, it's an old grading hack trick. Speaking of a hack, here I am. I thought this coin would come back new. 58, you know, it's got a huge spread. You know, this coin is something that's probably, where do we go here, a $300 plus coin, you know, but a nice 63 type coin is, you know, 2 or 3 times that. We'll see what I do with that coin. Boy, that one's tempted for Crackouts. Speaking of Crackouts, here's my vaunted coins that had, see, this is an OGH MS65. This may have been another video. I'm trying to remember when I got this back. If I bought this in Albuquerque, I don't remember when I bought this. But this this Oregon Trail is perhaps the nicest Oregon Trail I've owned. I've owned some pretty nice Oregon Trails. The original surface on this thing, once again, something that I've kind of started to call the skin. I don't know if that's really a thing. In fact, I would say it's definitely not a thing. But that it's super compelling. Super compelling. Once again, I want the coin to just kind of talk for itself here. And so what's interesting, of course, is it has a lot of spots to it, what people would call environmental damage. And I think that's probably the only thing that's kind of holding it back from being a superb gem. But I was scared to death to do anything to this coin. You know, so it went from a 65 to 66. This is the 1926S version, by the way, which I didn't mention. These things, the mint mark is right down there about 7 o'clock. And I guess, you know, the date side is over here. So based on US standards, this is actually the obverse of the coin. The date side of the coin is the obverse of the coin. So anyways, I was scared to death to do anything to this coin because that surface quality is so amazingly stunning. And it has the look that you'll see in superb gems like 67s and 8s. And I love all the little bits of originality on the coin, minus those spots up there in the field. If I could just get rid of those and leave everything else, it'd be amazing. But I don't think that I can. So the coin is what it is. Nothing with a big spread on it, actually. Oregon's come pretty nice. You know, it's probably a $400 coin the way it is, and maybe it was a $300 coin previously, something like that. And we were talking about crackers, crackouts, losing labels, and standing Liberty quarters. This 1929 was in a MS64 full head. And I thought, well, this coin is, I think, very clearly a 65. Like the surface quality, once again, I just love the overall surface quality of this coin, like I did before. We're going to look at it upside down. You have to indulge me for a moment. But I really, really liked this coin. Once again, similar to that Oregon Trail where it has some type of toning and whatnot going on. And there's a good look at the top of the coin. And this guy here has quite a bit of jumps. Some of the full head coins don't, and others do. So we went from a 64 full head to a 64 mic drop. Okay, so that is a happy loser, the happy loser, right? So a 64 is like a $300 coin, a 64 full head's like a $500 coin, a 65 is a $400 coin, a 65 full head's an $800 coin. So in essence, I actually paid a premium for it because both me and the collector thought the coin was a premium coin. So, I paid over 64 full head money for it, and now it is in a holder that says it's a $300 coin, give or take. So happy days are here again, and let's move on to something completely different. Let's talk a little bit about some gold coins. We'll wrap up the show here with a few gold coins that I had got in that are fun. I like this 1929 2.5. It's the type of coin that I thought would come back in nice mint state. There is the example of that glittery luster that's on a $2.50 gold piece. You want to be able to see it. The surface is the high point on the coin, and it's the point on the coin that you should care the most about for overall getting that grade to be uncirculated. So undoubtedly these coins saw people's hands and people touched them, and they're still called uncirculated. This is a misnomer about the overall collector marketplace. I had a trade dollar that went through. It wasn't mine, but I'd love to own it, but it was in an uncirculated holder, an off-brand holder, with lots of chop marks, and a lot of comments were like, well, how can it be uncirculated if it went through and got chop marks? Well, the same way that this coin did. I mean, this coin didn't sit on a shelf somewhere from the time it was minted. It undoubtedly traded hands many times. MS62. It undoubtedly traded hands many times before it came to its final resting place in this catacomb here. Probably about a $500 coin-ish in the marketplace. 1929 is one of the more common dates, but if you're doing a typeset, it's kind of a nice coin to get. 5 libs. Most all 5 libs that we get in, the $5 Liberty Gold coins we get in, are coins that will be almost uncirculated. Almost all of them have the same look to them. Very, very similar all around. And then this guy came in the door, and I thought, that's actually a nice coin and worth grading. Really big open fields on these Liberty coins, and so it's pretty easy to get marks on them. And gold is soft but resilient. So in other words, it can withstand a lot of things chemically, but also they actually got marred up pretty quick because of the density of the coin, and then you drop a coin onto another coin and it leaves marks really easily. MS64, that's actually spot on with how I thought it would come back. That's probably about an $800 coin. Just a very lovely, lovely piece. Nice type coin also. And I got one more gold coin, one final coin that would be a kind of a nice type coin. We go from the 2.5 to the 5. And we've got this 1909 Denver, which is one of the more common dates. The Denver mint is, the mint mark is, would you put that at 8 o'clock, 7.5 o'clock? I don't know what time that is. But once again, you get an idea of what you want to see as far as the luster goes on these coins. And then also speaking about that 5 Liberty, just how easy it is to get scuff marks on there. Same thing with these. These guys come marred and marred and marred. In fact, the one time I handled MS65 coin, it didn't look real because I'm so used to them being so marked up with hits that it was just a pretty neat looking piece. Really hard to tell the grade on these guys from the obverse because it's harder to see the luster. This one came back MS63. But it is harder to see the luster on the obverse of this coin because the Indian head takes up the vast majority of the coin. And so, you end up getting that really cool look of the luster flowing over the Native American headline, the neckline. Like that to me has always been one of my favorite looks, that luster, and over the headdress. But the luster in the field is really hard to see on the obverse of these coins. And then on the reverse, that's where you really get that glittery luster look. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.